Minted is a crowdsourced design marketplace. Artists submit design entries. They get voted on by users. So only the most popular proposals are made. Already successful in stationery and art, today Minted announcing an expansion into home. The founder and CEO, Mariam Naficy, is with me now. Mariam, it's great to see you back. Thanks for coming in. Before we talk about Minted Home, and I know that's the big news, you sold a very successful company in the last .com boom, that is to say 1999. How is working on Minted, fundraising included, different than at that time?
Yep. Well, back then, I remember one VC saying to me, women don't shop online. And I remember thinking, well, that's because not all of what we want to buy is actually online yet. And now women, of course, are represent more than half of the spending online. So now at least there's a recognition that businesses that largely appeal to the women consumer are very good businesses.
And
online.
for people who don't know, Eve.com did allow you to buy makeup online.
Right.
And I know people told you no one will ever do this, but Sephora, long story short, ended up buying your company.
Yes.
A very successful exit. So with Eve.com, years ago, you saw something that other people didn't see. And your proof is those comments from would-be investors. Yeah. What are you seeing now that you feel like the average person doesn't get?
Yeah, well, two forces. One is there's an enormous amount of talent that is hidden from our economy that needs the internet to expose it, and that's what our crowdsourcing process does. On the other hand, consumers want a huge amount of variety and they want to be unique. They come in every day telling us they want to be unique. And the way to provide that is to provide access to the crowd of the best designers in the marketplace, in the market, and that's what Minted does, connects consumers who want unique products with designers who can make them.
So especially when you talk about design, we think of these natural centers like New York or Chicago or LA, big city centers. But I know, as you're saying, there's a whole hidden workforce, creative talent that just because of where they live, they may not have access to the right connections for their products.
Absolutely. We're talking about the best designer, one of the best designers in our network is living on a farm in Iowa with a letterpress in her barn. We have designers all over the world. The best rise to the top through our voting process. And as a result, we always reveal the freshest and best designs. And they are everywhere. They are not in the big cities at all.
So I know you have 42,000 unique products. And as we alluded to, only the ones that get the most votes, that is to say, the crowd votes, and then the product gets made. So this is really a different business model than almost anything else out there, right? Etsy included.
Yeah, it's pretty revolutionary because we take crowdsourcing design and then we make anything possible for the consumer because everything is made on demand. So we take the full power of independent talent everywhere and we bring it to life in physical products through on-demand manufacturing.
Okay, so you mentioned the letterpress artist who is in Iowa. So you have arts, you have stationery, and now you are launching home as a separate category. So what made you realize that this was the right direction to go in?
It's just the sheer talent. We saw patterns, beautiful repeating patterns being submitted on the backs of the stationery cards. We saw so much graphic design talent that deserves to be in people's homes, and we need to bring that to consumers. So we thought, curtains, lampshades, pillows, anything in the home decor market that gives a canvas to designers to show their talent and to allow consumers to express their unique style, we needed to do it.
Are there any cautionary tales? I know Gilt Group, for example, launched home, and that's more an auction base, but there's others who are competing as well. So how are you going to keep your unique niche in the market in the home category?
Well, we'll basically always beat competitors on freshness of trend because we see trends a year to 2 years ahead of everyone else. That's one thing because everything's bubbling up from the street. It's not coming from down high. It's coming from the street now. And we will always be the first to know about the trend. And that freshness is unbeatable when you have a crowd working for you.
But when you're dealing with artisans, I mean, sometimes the production, so you get the freshness, but you may not always have the production or the manufacturing expertise, and they may not even know, I cannot produce 100 of these right now.
Exactly. And that's where we really believe in a platform-enabled marketplace, which makes us different from other marketplaces. We actually make everything ourselves, giving you complete confidence in the actual quality of the product.
So, Mariam, I know that you have best-of-breed investors, Benchmark, Allen & Company, and I know in the first round, Marissa Mayer, Jeremy Stoppelman. What is it like to work with them, especially some of the famous female investors who back Minted?
The famous female investors who back Minted are incredibly supportive. They are very, very supportive, and their support is always felt. I think that in general, people want to find a way to give back. The people who find themselves in these positions often say that they're fortunate, they're very humble. Many of them are actually humble, and they want to help. At least the ones I'm working with.
When you hear, for example, Reverend Jesse Jackson saying Silicon Valley has to be more diverse, do you feel like it's changed between 1999, when you first started and sold a company, to now? Has there been any material change from what you can see as a woman?
I think the generational shift just helps things. I'm dealing with men in their mid-30s who are, honestly, they are more open-minded. They are, the generational turnover is
chances are higher they had working moms,
absolutely.
or they have older sisters.
They have a different cultural perspective on how things should be, and they're actually remarkably helpful and have supported me.
Okay, Mariam, it's great to see you. Congratulations on the home launch, Minted Home. Mariam Naficy joining me there. She is the founder and CEO of Minted.